Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. My subscribers, hey guys, I appreciate you all. To visitors, what's up? Appreciate each and every one of you. Listen guys, I need to get right into this word, okay? It's something that the Lord is wanting me to share with you all. And it's a question, which is, are you consulting the dead? Are you consulting the dead? Some of you say, no, I'm not. But I'm about to share something with you that the Lord revealed to me, in which you just might be. Now we know there's the outright consultation where someone goes to a medium. They go to someone, and that person will talk to them and describe their long lost loved one, or describe whoever it is to the letter, even what they had on when they were buried and what the person is saying. And the word of God says this is sin, because I want you to understand, when your loved one dies, when you and I die, we don't get to float around and come back. We're in one or two places. We're going to be in a place of rest until we are resurrected. The day of Jesus comes. But if that person was not a believer, they're in another place. Okay. And neither of those places can you return. You can't. Now, there's a lot of people that say, oh, is anyone really in rest? I thought everyone was heaven right now chilling. No, not yet. The Bible talks about that. Those who have passed on, they're in a place of rest until when Jesus returns, resurrects, raises the dead, quickens the body of the dead. And we ourselves, if we're still alive and here, will be caught up to meet him in the air. And at that point, as everything happens, there'll be the new heaven and new earth that will come here, and everything will be new and everything will be great. So the people that die and say they went to heaven and they saw this person, they saw that person, and this happened, I'm not going to negate their testimony. But what I'm going to tell you is the reason why they may see some things when they go is because they're supposed to come back and talk to us here on earth and tell us about their experiences. Okay, so they died and went to heaven. They saw God. They may have saw hell. They saw different things. What they see, God allows. What their experience is what God imparts to them that they need to come back and talk to us about. But ultimately, it's not about, oh, your parents are already in heaven and this person is in heaven. That experience was for them because they have something to tell us. But my point is, when you die, we don't come back to talk to you in any way. We're not going to come back if we're in a place of rest, and we definitely can't come back to tell you anything if the soul is in hell. So when someone is telling you, oh, I see this and I see that, you have to realize it's what we're calling familiar spirits. Now, you can check in the Bible and Google, what does the Bible say about familiar spirits? What does the Bible say about consulting the dead, or Bible verses on consulting the dead? And it's going to pull up a bunch of them. You're going to find a lot of them found in the Old Testament, and Leviticus 20 is one. So you can check out Leviticus 26 through 7. That tells you about the familiar spirits, the danger of it. It is not your parent. It is not your child. It's not your grandmother. It is a familiar spirit that's familiar with the person that died, familiar with your hurt. And so they come and they talk to you and they tell you things. And so that way you continue to convey and to speak to them. And these dead spirits, these deadly spirits, these dangerous spirits now enter into your life, okay, with a whole different agenda. But here's another way that many believers are consulting the dead, unaware. Some of you may not agree with me, but I'm about to tell you. When you go to the gravesite of your parents, your child, or whoever, and you just sit there and you're talking to them. You're talking to them. I'm going to tell you why that's dangerous. You sit there and say, Mom, we're all here. And Billy's doing so-and-so, and Kevin is this, and say hi to my grandma, and you tell them to talk to grandma or talk to mama, and you're sitting there and this is what's going on and I really need you and what you think about this. Sometimes you have full conversations. I want to tell you, you're consulting the dead. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand you miss that loved ones, but nothing is there but that person's remains. Okay. And what I'm trying to tell you is, when you go to the gravesite, when you go to visit, when you go to put flowers and you go to clean off the headstone, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But when you go there, you want to go to, if you do it, don't have a conversation, okay? Rather, you all could go there to remember. Okay, or you could even do a remembrance or whatever in another place and then go there and put your flowers. But if you're going to go there and you're putting your flowers on and you remember the good times and just laughing, and you know, that's it. But I'm trying to tell you, when you start to have that conversation, you're consulting the dead. How? You think that you're having a conversation with whoever your loved one is. But where are you? You're in a graveyard. You're in a graveyard. And a graveyard, a cemetery, okay, let's say it nicer, it's a cemetery. The cemetery is a place where all the dead is laid. The dead are laid. This is a place, my brothers and sisters, where there's a lot of dark and demonic spirits. This is a place that witches go to. This is a place where people go to get cemetery dirt to do evil. So the spirit of death resides there, okay? Because death comes. So spirit of death and everything tied to it. And because people come and consult the dead thinking, I'm just talking to my grandmother, I'm just talking to my brother, you charge these dark spirits that's already there. You charge and you find yourself connecting to spirits that because witches go there and do dark things, and devil worshipers and occult, they go there at night to do certain things. You conjure up and you're talking to, you think you're talking to your mother and your father and your loved one, but there's something else there that's going to connect with you. And sometimes you can be like, oh, I was hearing, I could have sworn I smelled the perfume my mother wearing. Oh, I was going there and I thought I saw my mom real quick. You saw a demon. No, my brothers and sisters, don't get it wrong. There's nothing in the Bible that supports that, to say your mother and your father will come back. They'll come talk to you. So be very careful how you can inadvertently do this, because you love them, right? You love them. And up until the Lord spoke to me about this before, and then yesterday he reminded me again and told me I need to talk to you guys. And basically, guys, inadvertently, that's what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with remembering. There's nothing wrong with even keeping the memory of your mother, your father alive. There's nothing wrong with it. But in a lot of religions, well, in a lot of cultures, they do that. And when that person becomes a Christian and realize, okay, we're not supposed to worship our ancestors, we're not supposed to be doing this, they end up having a lot of conflict with their family. Because I know this is especially true in a lot of Asian cultures, right? I believe the Chinese do it, you know? So study your word. Don't accidentally consult the dead. Because when you do it, that's when I'm trying to tell you, it's very, very dangerous. You're talking to the dead. Not them. They're not there. But everything else surrounded, that spirit of death, that familiar spirit will come upon you. You may have a dream that night, different things. But you're going to find there's going to come a time when there's a nightmare. You can find trying to figure out what's going on in your house. What's happening. Some of you, you go there, and if there's some flowers or some little weeds that grew up around the grave, you bring it home with you. Stop doing things like that. The weed itself has no significance, but it's what you're doing in your heart. You're having this conversation with mama and dada and mommy and daddy and your children. And I'm here to tell you, you need to just remember them, celebrate the life that they had, what they gave to you, speak to your family about them. Go to the gravesite if you like. And just put up new flowers on there. You know, put stuff for their birthday if that's what you like to do. There's nothing wrong with that. But please refrain from having conversations because you are consulting and speaking to the dead, not the dead in the grave, but the spirit of death that surrounds the cemetery and the dark spirits that are there as a result of demonic worship, witches, and all types of other things that takes place in the cemetery. All right, guys, I hope this makes sense. Sleep on it, pray on it. All right, peace out.